So, where does that bring us today with Lewis? Well, part of the infrastructure of Camp Dunlap included 3 partially underground bunkers. These bunkers were allegedly used to store ammunitions. Today, they're some of the most sought-after locations in the slabs. Though a bit far from quote-unquote city center, they boast a number of benefits.
We're 50 to 70 feet below sea level here. Those mountains that almost surround us 350 degrees form a bowl. We're the bottom of the soup bowl. We get a lot of flash flooding here. We get hurricane force winds. We have hundreds of earthquakes a year. I feel it on a regular basis. We are on the San Andreas Fault. People watch on YouTube and they're like, oh, it's easy. I'll just put this up or put that up. But when you get here, the people make it difficult. The terrain makes it difficult. No services. It's a lot harder than it looks. And on a regular basis, we have natural disasters that would shut a city down. And we're just like the next day, we're like, okay, I guess we're rebuilding the 1/3 that was destroyed. So that's why the bunkers are prized, because if there's hurricane force winds, they're not going to affect them. Hello, you home? Everybody home?
So what happened here?
Burnout. Property's in dispute. People can just burn your house down. Most people don't call the cops here. They tend to be their own police force. Nobody gets arrested for it. Everyone's a slabber. During the season, 3,000 to 5,000 people live here. During the summer, only 150 stay. I'm one of those 4 times in a row. 10% of those on average die, so we have 15 deaths this year in 60 days. That's how rough it is. You are twice as safe being a combatant in Afghanistan than you are here during the summer.
Did you really think I'd end the story like that? Part 2 starts right now. I feel like I just walked out after a bomb went off. Where's Lewis?
It's all random stuff I found here. These are smoke grenades, smoke screen, M18. I got about a dozen of those. I found an old radio antenna. This is my second one. They're great for Wi-Fi. Some old military ammo belts. Pretty cool. These are great. I can hook that directly to a solar panel. Doesn't matter the voltage, it'll spin faster or slower.
If you're wondering how Lewis became so handy, well, you're not alone. Lewis carries years of experience as an engineer. Need an iPhone repaired and live in the slabs? Look no further than the man that does backflips off his roof. All right.
I'm from the Bronx, from the housing projects. I was born poor and in a violent place, and I got successful like Jay-Z. They pull you out of the projects and throw me into 30 Rockefeller and said, come, use your talents to make more people buy more shit that they don't need. Forget about the people who lifted you up to get you here. Forget about the people who fed you. Forget about your family back there. They can't get into the parties. They're not cool enough. So I felt guilty about it. I provide a lot of services here. I do a food pantry, like I'll box everybody at food. I do addict services, needle exchange, Narcan tests. I have all the addict services here, like alcohol prep pads, clean needles, Narcan tests. They drop off their dirties. I never put a needle in my arm in my life, but my mom was an addict and has been clean for decades. She's got an NA keychain taller than her. And my son was addicted for a couple of years and is now clean for a couple of years. So I do it for them. Somebody kept them alive. Somebody gave them clean needles. I also gather broken and scrap electronics. All these phones, all those laptops, seeing which phones I could get working again, program the SIM cards, and I have a list of who needs these devices and I give it to them for free. People bring them to me too. These just came in because people know I do this. So locals say, hey, I got these broken phones and tablets here. I'll fix it and give it to them first, then keep the rest and distribute them or use them for parts. In LA, I had a little first floor loft with exposed brick, and I knew 3 people in the whole building. But I know every tent outside my sidewalk because those are my neighbors too. I just tend to get along with those people because that's how I grew up. More like this than like that. In New York City, I would go to Port Authority, I would go to the Lower East Side, go to poor neighborhoods and build bikes. I don't even have to leave my house to do that here. They come to me. This was originally a Renogy board that I keep adding to. This is another part that was originally on my bike. This little guy here plus the battery that attaches to it, which I have around here, is the equivalent of 2 car batteries, 2 solar charge controllers, 4 USB outputs, 2 DC outputs, 110 output, cigarette lighter output. My last paid job was a professor of computer science, taught at the Digital New York Film Academy. I taught mostly veterans in like 20 programming languages. My specialty is actually artificial intelligence. Most people don't find out what I do here, or that I was a professor or anything, until I know for a year or more, until they hear the rumor and they're like, why do they call you professor? It's not a nickname, it's a title. It's the last job I had.
To Lewis, giving back is a way of life.